Hi there, you say you wanted to see me.
Yes, Eric, I wanted to spend a few minutes with you going over your management performance evaluation. Great leaders self-evaluate to discover what areas they need to work on and what areas they have particular strengths. Why don't you spend a moment and tell me about your particular strengths? I would like you to use critical thinking when evaluating yourself. Critical thinking is sometimes difficult because our brains are set up to automatically attack problems using emotion and assumptions based off of past experiences. It may help you somewhat to try to switch on the critical thinking part of your brain by consciously trying to set aside your biases. Be critical of the first thoughts that shoot out of your brain. That is, after all, why it's called critical thinking.
Well, I would have to say that my greatest strength is my ability to motivate a team. I have high energy and I believe that that shows through when I'm addressing a group. In addition to this, I believe that I'm quite articulate and am able to get my point across and to get people to buy into my way of thinking. I also have a vast wealth of knowledge about and a passion for our business, which makes me an asset for problem solving and for generating innovative solutions.
Yes, go on.
As a manager, I have been fortunate enough to have great people work underneath me. I take at least some amount of credit for teaching these individuals the skills they need to continue on their career paths. I want to promote my people. I want them to realize their goals, and I think that is one of the signs of a good manager. That, and accomplishing all the tasks that one sets out for oneself.
And what about your work with creative teams?
Unfortunately, I have not had a tremendous amount of experience working on creative teams. My experience and strengths lie in managing and being a part of results-oriented teams.
So please tell me more about these results-oriented teams and what you see are the differences between them and their creative-oriented counterparts.
The biggest difference is that with a results-oriented team, there is more structure. There are deadlines. You know your goal, and you are working towards it. This differs from creative teams because oftentimes in creative teams there is time allotted for brainstorming and discussions. There is more of a free-flowing feel.
Great. Well, since we are now talking about creative teams, why don't you tell me more about other areas in which you could improve?
I would say that my greatest opportunity would be to loosen the reins. To micromanage less and trust my people to do the job that I hired them for. I guess I tend to look over people's shoulders a bit too much, and that can stifle their creativity.
Go on, tell me more.
Well, since we are being honest, I guess I also have an opportunity for improvement with regards to packing my team full of people who are too similar to myself. I could improve by mixing it up a little and adding a little diversity. Have you heard the term creative abrasion?
I'm not sure that I have.
It is discussed in the business book When Sparks Fly. An example of creative abrasion would be to build a team with a variety of different people from different backgrounds and with different skill sets. This keeps the group from singing the same tune in harmony. Creative groups especially need a couple of dissenters in their midst to keep their creative juices flowing. If everyone quickly agrees on the solution posed to a particular problem, then chances are that that solution may not be the absolute best.
So how do you think you could go about turning this weakness into an opportunity?
My obvious first step would be for me to get over the uncomfortableness of surrounding myself with people who are different. It may be difficult at first when I don't have people around me who may share my background, or my hobbies, or my interests, but I can certainly see the benefits of having people around me who help create creative abrasion and bring fresh ideas to the table. Do you want a candy bar?
No, thank you. As a manager, the company depends on you heavily to generate results. Sometimes you may be asked to come up with innovative solutions. You mentioned that you have little experience working in creative teams. How do you personally come up with creative innovation?
For me, the key is incubation. Heard of it?
I'm not sure. I don't believe so.
Incubation is an excuse for procrastinating, but more accurately it is chance to let your mind rest after wrestling with a particular problem and allowing your subconscious to go to work on it. Doing activities like shaving, showering, driving in the car, or going for a jog all allow for incubation. I can't even begin to count all the times when the solution to a problem came to me while I was daydreaming out the window or mindlessly waiting for my coffee to brew. If I'm struggling to solve a problem and the answer is just not coming to me, I like to stand up and take a walk for a few minutes. Give my brain a rest. Sometimes that is all it takes to find the solution.
Let's talk for a moment about ethics. Ethics are of course an extremely important part of our business, as it is with any business. Tell me a bit about the ethical considerations that go into your department and into your teams.
If you don't mind me saying, you would be hard-pressed to find another guy in this break room who is more ethical than me. But seriously, ethics are in some way or other at the forefront of everything I do. Employees at every level of our organization are faced at some time or other with ethical dilemmas. When that time arrives, you need to already know how you are going to handle the situation and whether you are going to act ethically or not. I have made up my mind and I'm going to act ethically.
Thank you, Eric. That is about all the time we have. I want to first thank you for your candor and for taking the time to visit with me here in the break room. Before we finish, is there anything else you would like to address?
I would just like to make certain that we are very clear about one thing. I enjoy what I do here, and am happy that I'm able to contribute at this level. Studies have shown that individuals who enjoy their work generally work harder, are more productive, and are more creative.
I would agree with that.
One thing that I try to do with my team is to reward them for their successes. I'm not only talking about monetary rewards. Positive feedback is in many cases just as effective a tool. One thing that I have noticed is that when employees are rewarded for their achievements, they will continue to work harder and harder as they seek more positive reinforcement. As a manager, all I have to do is recognize and reward these achievements, and it creates a near never-ending cycle. My boss does the same thing with me, and your boss does the same with you. It is how we are all wired, and all it takes is for a manager to realize it and make it part of his or her style. This was fun.